Yesterday was Google I/O, the annual developer conference where Google desperately tries to catch up to its artificial rival, OpenAI.
Yo, the way that they got this edited. Yo, I've been using ChatGPT for a minute and I've just used the 4o. I do the paid subscription. I make it like comics and like all different types of stuff on it. Now I haven't used Google IO because I don't know if it's available to the public, but there's
Google announced some crazy stuff I never thought I would see in my lifetime, like a SQL database for Firebase. More on that later, because first we need to talk about the biggest announcement at I/O, OpenAI's new GPT-4o. You see, OpenAI hype lord Sam Altman yet again wrapped up Sundar in a wet blanket by releasing GPT-4o just hours before Google I/O, which is a total coincidence and definitely not designed to troll Google.
Yo, that was some Kendrick Lamar Drake type of pettiness right there. Yo. Google's just all like, here's Family Matters, and then OpenAI is just all like, meet the grabs, bitch. Like,
in today's video, we'll break down this artificial beef, but more importantly, look at all kinds of crazy new technology released in just the last 48 hours. It is May 15th, 2024, and you are watching The Code Report. On Monday, OpenAI had a surprise spring update where they unveiled their new flagship model, GPT-4 Omni.
You've got me on the edge of my, well, I don't really have a seat, but you get the idea. What's the big news?
Yeah, we've got a new model,
which is faster and cheaper than GPT-4 Turbo, and
see, I haven't explored that part. Like they're saying like there's an audio version and different things you could do with it. When I saw the update and I incorporated, the first thing I did was I had an idea for a story. And then I'm all like, yo, give me like 7 pages, like the panels and everything for it. And it did that shit. That was different and I think I'm able to do it on 4. I didn't do like full-fledged panels like that. It was working faster, which is what I noticed, so that's one thing. And I think with 4.0, I think it's available for free, but the things that I use the paid subscription for, you can't do with that, so like things like consistent characters. But with what I've been able to do, you can get consistent characters, but there's an actual thing for an actual GPT for that consistent characters, as well as a bunch of other stuff. So I don't know if they've found a way to incorporate it, but me personally, I pay for it. I still find use in the paid for version, but from what I've used it for has been pretty cool so far, but that audio thing, I'm just like, and he's using it on his phone, I mainly use it. I use it both mobile and as far as on the computer, but when I'm doing most of this stuff, it's on a computer, so I might have to just try it on the phone.
Binds text, vision, and audio into a single model. What was most impressive, though, was its human-like conversational abilities.
Well. Just when I thought things couldn't get any more interesting. Talking to another AI that can see the world?
By default, it uses a California Valley Girl accent set to maximum cringe, but the tone of the voice can vary from dramatic to sarcastic to super chill for bedtime stories.
Bedtime story about robots and love? I got you covered.
This technology will be a huge leap forward for your AI girlfriend.
Whoa. I wasn't thinking that. I was more so thinking, because the way that I just think of ideas and stuff, I'll be like, man, that would be a crazy story idea. And I'll be like, I'll type in, I don't use the voice, but the fact that you can do the voice and it'll read it back to you like that. I do stories and I'll be like, hey, ChatGPT, give you a story on this, and be like, it'll talk like. So I might have to do a demonstration of that, because that's fire.
And you can use the GPT-4o model today, but the conversational part of it is still not available to the public. That's disappointing, but what you also need to know is that OpenAI is in talks to put their technology on the iPhone, but Google also wants to get its flagship model on the iPhone as well. Talks are ongoing to also get Gemini on the iPhone, so these companies are competing to create a model that's smart, but also fast and cheap enough to run on mobile in order to get that massive bag.
The way that he edited this, is freaking hilarious.
Apple. Yesterday at I.O., Google demoed something called Project Astra, which feels similar to 4Omni.
Do you remember where you saw my glasses?
Yes, I do. Your glasses were on the desk near a red apple.
It's cool, but there's more
wow.
latency, and
Yeah,
the voice is
there
more
is that
robotic
latency.
compared to OpenAI. Now, what's also very interesting is that OpenAI just parted ways with Ilya, their former chief scientist and co-founder, who many people used to
They have to
worship
do
as
it
the
like
brains
that.
behind OpenAI. There's definitely some underlying drama here, but we likely won't know the truth until they release their memoirs in the 2040s. But now let's finally talk about Google I.O. The biggest AI announcement from Google was Gemini 1.5 Pro, which can now handle a 2 million token context window. That could be 2 hours of video content or 60,000 lines of code. That's a lot of context, but tokens can be expensive. And to address that, they
Damn.
released a new feature called context caching that can reuse tokens for a fraction of the cost. In addition, Google launched a competition for developers, and whoever builds the best Gemini-powered app wins an electric DeLorean. To make building this app easier, they also released a new tool called Firebase GenKit, which is integrated with OLLAMA and makes it easy to build AI-enabled API endpoints. In addition,
I mean, if that's interesting. I don't know if OpenAI has something like that, but the inventor and like coder aspect of me is just all like, that's pretty dope. But the part of me that's just like, yo, I'm just trying to create some shit. Like OpenAI has pretty much got that covered. Like I spent a lot of time just like creating ideas, creating images, doing like random stuff on there, just trying to push it to its limits. But yeah, I mean, this is cool, I guess, Google.
Project IDX is now open to the public, which is a browser-based VS Code that's also integrated with things like mobile emulators. By far the most exciting thing for me, though, is a new tool called Firebase Data Connect, which officially brings Postgres into Firebase. This has been the #1 most requested feature for years.
How do I use Firebase with SQL?
And its absence has led to startups like Supabase, which is branded as a Firebase alternative. But now in 2024, the turns have tabled. Firebase is now the Supabase alternative. I'm a big fan of both Supabase and Firebase, and if you want to learn these technologies, check out my full courses on Fireship.io, and stay tuned for a full tutorial on Data Connect on my second channel, Beyond Fireship, to startups like Supabase, which is branded as a Firebase alternative. But now in 2024, the turns have tabled. Firebase is now the Supabase alternative.
It's so over for you, Superbase bitches.
I'm a big fan of both Supabase and Firebase, and if you want to learn these technologies, check out my full courses on Fireship.io, and stay tuned for a full tutorial on Data Connect on my second channel, Beyond Fireship, soon. Google also announced some new hardware, like Trillium TPUs, and Axion, its new ARM-based CPUs for data centers. And finally, Google also announced Veo, a generative video model to compete with OpenAI's Sora. It's extremely impressive compared to where we were just a year ago, but yet again, it just feels one step behind OpenAI. We just looked at all kinds of crazy new game-changing technology, but at this point, I'm feeling a little disappointed with our progress towards the singularity. It's been over a year since GPT-4, and unfortunately, I still have a job. 4Omni, Claude, and Gemini 1.5 all seem to be pretty maxed out on how far they can get with these benchmarks, making models
You said it's been a year and I still have a job.
faster and cheaper is great, but if they're not becoming more intelligent, then the singularity is nowhere in sight. They've already absorbed almost all the information humans have created, so unless there's a major breakthrough that makes AI actually intelligent and able to learn independently, it sure looks like we're standing on the edge of a plateau, and the only place to go is the trough of disillusionment. This has been the Code Report. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
I could definitely see his point on that because, yeah, I mean, with what I've been able to do, I'll show y'all. What I've been able to do with ChatGPT is freaking dope. Oh, that's a new thing. So this was one that I started, and it was just like an idea that I had. And then there's this Russian artist named Leon Bosk, and I was just like, I had it on my Pinterest, and I wanted some stuff in his art style. So the fact that it's getting art styles, it's able to like generate and like push this stuff out. So yeah, this is what it's like a 20-page like little comic that I'm working on, so. And yeah, what he was saying is like correct. So the fact that you can upload stuff, you can, you could do a lot, with this. I feel like the next best thing is going to be cleaning up what's already out, because the video stuff that they're able to do. But the thing is, a lot of this stuff is like, it's supposed to be a tool. Me personally, I'm not like a digital illustrator or drawer, but I write stories, and I know how to use the digital stuff. So for me, this is why I use this stuff. But someone who does do digital work, they're able to clean this stuff up, So, with the video, I feel like it'll get a lot stabler and we'll get to that point. But then what, So I know what he means as far as that. Me personally, what I've been thinking and using AI for is mainly like to be able to, if you're an illustrator, like I said, me personally, I'm not, but I wanted to still be able to work with, humans and different things like that. So my thing is easing up the load. So the fact that this thing has something called consistent characters, it has this thing that explore the GPTs, and so these are some of the main ones that I've been using. But the consistent characters, you literally start off male or female, what's their name, do their description, and then start getting the different art styles that you want, so you can have consistent characters for doing comics, graphic novels, different things like that. But you can also upload. So for a manga artist, or a comic book artist who wants to maximize and still get their story out and still have it be their art style, they can do the main stuff and then upload it, and then have the AI be able to develop, and then they can go back behind and do whatever changes that needs to be done. It's still them, but they're doing everything at a fraction of the time. And it's not like the AI doesn't produce some really dope stuff. You know what I mean? So some people are gonna have these thoughts and think about, as far as like, well, uh can we really use it and different things like that. And it's just like, we've been doing this stuff. People have said the same thing with digital art. People have said the same thing as far as with the internet. People have said the same thing in regards to cars, the computer, the cell phone, like all of these things. So I want to maximize it for what it could be used for in my own mediums, So let me know what y'all think in the comments. As Mr. Composition MC that writes fiction, this was a really dope video. I like the way that he explained everything. But yeah, if you like this, hit the like, subscribe, notification bell, as long as you don't miss when I drop a new video. On the road to 5K, make sure to check out the description for my music, books, comics, and more. All right, y'all. Peace.